In what has to be my favorite update video ever, I am happy to announce that the United States will be joining the fight against gambling in video games. The loot box predatory system that EA has been pushing for the last few years is finally going to get some pushback. If you see my last video, I went ahead and said that EA is going to fight this with every tooth of their bone. They're going to want it to not be classified as gambling. They don't want a rating on the box where you buy it and it says contains real world currency gambling, has to be rated M for mature or AO. They don't want that to happen. But finally, it is not just going to be Belgium or maybe even the UK and Europe if all of them get together. The United States has stepped into this fight, and we're going to be going over what they have to say right now, because I am just proud of us as a gaming community, the Star Wars Reddit, all of us who have been voicing our opinions and standing up for this crap. We are done with it, and I can't wait to see it removed from our games in the future. What am I talking about here? Well, let's go check out what Hawaii has to say. Here we go, guys. The state representatives have uploaded a video directly to their own YouTube channel. And I'm not going to mix their words. We're just going to listen, skip through it, and I'm going to explain to you what's so important about the way they said this is not just that they're saying it. I don't feel like this is just politicians trying to get votes. It seems like they're actually trying to make a difference here. Let's listen up.
We are here today to ensure future protections for kids, youth, and everyone when it comes to the spread of predatory practices in online gaming and the significant financial consequences that it can have on families and has been having on families around this nation.
Okay, let's see, that's what I'm going to do. Significant impact it has been having on families around this nation. That's the thing. He realizes that it has had an impact. It's not just starting. This stuff has been going on for years. Coming from Steam with Valve and some of their games that have had microtransactions, loot box type stuff. EA's been preying on players for a long time with their stuff, and it has had an impact on families. You've seen the YouTube videos out there of families complaining about their kids buying a bunch of loot boxes, not getting what they want, or the percentages, like, you know, a player will buy a bunch of loot boxes just to find out, like, oh, the percentage is all wrong. The company was just like, oh yeah, it should have been 5%, but we only had a 1% chance of getting this rare item. We've all seen the stories of all this bullshit. And let's just keep on listening and just how he goes on and all the people who present and talk about this upcoming fight that they're gonna try to push forward, and what makes me so happy about this. Let's keep going.
Game is a Star Wars themed online casino designed to lure kids into spending money. It's a trap. And this is something that we need to address to ensure that particularly kids who are underage, who are not psychologically and emotionally mature enough to be able to gamble, which is why gambling is prohibited under 21, are protected from being trapped into these cycles, which have compelled many folks to spend thousands of dollars in gaming fees online.
Now, I want to actually talk about this right now. This is coming from my own personal opinion and my own personal experiences. Let me phrase this. Now, this is real world gambling, actually poker. Now, I was 18 going into college, met a bunch of cool people. They were very cool, hanged out. We weren't the people that were out there doing crazy stuff like that, but we did have our one, you know, vice. It was, well, playing poker. We all got together with a bunch of people and played poker. And I remember, man, I'm 18, 19, just in a college dorm, and we were playing poker and day and night. I'm putting money in, $5, $10 before I'm doing $50 buy-ins. And I don't think I ever got to the point when I was seriously addicted, because I was able to stop it. At some point, I was like, oh, the money's just not right anymore. Like, I'm winning one day, a bunch of money, then I lose the money the next day, and it was just going right back into the same hobby. Like, you know, I bought, boom, boom, boom. But I was young. I was under 21, and I could see now, like, if I was a really, like, that addicted person, I could have got to the point where I was just said, like, let me go borrow some money from my family. Let me go take some money from somebody else. Now I'll go buy, put another $50, $100 buy-ins into this game. But I was able to walk away. But I could see myself at a young age, 19-year-old, playing these games and day out, night out basis, that, yeah, it can become fun and addictive. It's sparking in your brain. And under 21, you might not be mature enough with your money. Remember, I'm still in college. I haven't gotten like a full-time job where I'm working at like, massive amount of hours, paying a huge amount of bills. I'm just going to school and paying for school. That's basically what it is. But I got to the point where I was like, nah, I'm not going to do this anymore, and I've stopped. I'm not going out playing poker anymore. I'm not going out to casinos or nothing like that. But I could have been the person who gets hooked onto this. And the same type of mechanics, and when you win a match and you win a game, it's in the video games these days. And he said it in this. Under 21, people who might be susceptible to the stuff could get addicted. It could mess with their minds and end up spending more money they have or borrowing money from people to play a game because you're like, oh no, this time around I'm going to get what I want. This time around I'm going to win. This time when I pull the lever on that loot box, it's going to come out with that Mercy skin that I've been looking for all this time. Just if I spend another $10, but you might never get that Mercy skin you want. You just might never. That's just how it is. Let's keep on listening, guys.
We're looking at legislation this coming year which could prohibit access or prohibit the sale of these games to folks who are underage in order to protect families, as well as prohibiting different kinds of mechanisms in those games. We've been talking with several other states as well, yes, legislators there who are looking at the same thing. I think this is an appropriate time to make sure that these issues are addressed before this becomes the new norm for every game.
All right. That is the most important thing I think he said. Before it becomes a new norm for every single game. Right now, the only people that we know as a big publisher is CD Projekt Red and developer who said that we're not going to go that route. But if EA was able to succeed with Star Wars Battlefront 2, with one of the biggest IPs out there, Star Wars, it would just become okay, like any other big IPs, any other big games that come out, like, hey, why not? Why don't the next Mario game have a loot box system? Why Nintendo don't jump on the bandwagon? If Star Wars is able to get away with it, why wouldn't Mario be able to get away with it? I mean, the new Animal Cross game doesn't have like loot box per se, but they have those whole time waiting games where you have to pay. But that's kind of like an Animal Crossing way. But what if the next Animal Crossing like mobile title to come out just has time waiting, but you could spend a loop instead of paying for something to speed your time up? Why not pay for a loot box with the potential to speed the time up for you to get something in the game? You get what I'm trying to say? That's the thing what's wrong with these loot box systems. It is a randomized thing to get what somebody really wants. It has a bunch of crap items, and then that one thing that you really want is at the low percentages. And remember, even China had a rule where they're like, oh, you have to tell exactly the player how much percentage you have to get the item you want. And even Blizzard went ahead and changed their system to make sure that, they could still have their kind of loot box stuff, but, they don't have to go ahead and reveal the percentages to the player, because none of these publishers want to reveal the percentage. They don't want to know, how long it's going to actually take you and what's the percentage odds for you to get that skin, to get that epic orc, to get that star card. EA doesn't want you to know that there might be under a 40% chance. And I'm giving them a lot of credit. Under 40% chance to get the level 3 star card from that box. They don't want you to know that. And if it was even if it's 50%, some people will be like, I'm paying 50% to throw away my money. Nah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. Let's hear what this guy had to say real quick.
One of the things that's really disturbing about this to me is that this was previously a business practice that was mostly seen in the mobile gaming market, your iPad, your iPod games. And now it's moved into the main event. This is a AAA title that's being released by the world's largest gaming studio. And it has the most popular intellectual property in the world attached to it. And it's marketed squarely at children. Some of you folks who are a little older may remember a character by the name of Joe Camel. He's not around anymore, and we didn't allow Joe Camel to encourage your kids to smoke cigarettes, and we shouldn't allow Star Wars to encourage your kids to gamble.
All right, I just wanted everybody who might be young, who doesn't know who Joe Camel is, Google search Joe Camel right now on your iPad, your phone, or whatever device you have that's connected to internet. If you're young and don't know the reference there, Google search that and think about like, does that seem right to have marketing in kids? No, not really. Not in magazines that might be targeted at kids. So yeah, that changed. And I always thought, I remember seeing, I was like, that's kind of weird. I saw that back in the days in old magazines when I looked through them. I'm like, no. Remember guys, I look young, but I'm older than I look. I definitely am. So if you think I don't know what I'm talking about,
United Church of Christ minister for 50 years, now retired, and in retirement have been active in the Interfaith Alliance Hawaii.
I'm going to skip ahead. I don't know, not trying to offend what this guy's about to say, but I'm going to skip ahead to the mother. I really like how she addresses it. Go back. like I said, I don't want to spoil the whole entire video. I'm gonna link the video in the description. But I like how she approaches it at a mother and a parent. So just listen to her, and as somebody who's, like I said, I help take care of my sister's kids from time to time, and it's important to me to even educate my sister who buys her kids games or systems, like, hey sis, like, you know, you shouldn't get this type of game. Or like when one of the kids' father bought them a PS4, the PS4 came with 2 M-rated games. I had to go to him and be like, they're not mature. I you know, they're not matured enough to have these games. I will take the games away from them, and I'm holding on to them until they get older. Like things like that, parents will think. You know, a bundle comes with like a mature M-rated game or 2, and you have to be able to communicate that with your family and friends. And the same way, I like that she's gonna be a parent and she's gonna explain it to other parents as well why this is potentially a danger. So let's listen to what she has to say right now.
I feel like this is just one more thing that we have to watch out for and try to protect our kids from. Gambling's addictive. There's a lot of other things we already have to worry about. Other types of substance use that's addictive as well. And for parents, we can't protect our children from everything. Things that they can get on their phone, on their laptops, things they can do at their friends' houses, you know, accessing games like this, we can't control it. So we do need help from regulations to help set boundaries when something is targeting, advertising, tempting kids to get involved in something that costs them money that they don't have. You know, that might inspire them to try to access that money in some way.
It's just more and more money you have to spend
So
to actually keep on playing the game. It's just frustrating. As a gamer, I'm just getting kind of sick of it, and this has been the tipping point, and a lot more people are getting involved.
So being a gamer yourself, I mean, you're stepping up and you're boycotting the Star Wars game, right?
Yeah.
Your concern in particular with the youth, with the children, why are you so concerned? I mean, you're in the gaming world, you play these games all the time. What's your main concern with targeting the kids?
I have a 6-month-old daughter now, and I kind of see that the world she's growing up in, I better try to make changes now before she grows up and she's exposed to all this stuff.
Go, guys. Sorry, I accidentally. Go watch the whole. This guy just. That's how I feel with my nieces and nephews. I feel like I have to protect them from these type of things. I gotta. You have to watch you have to know what they're into on YouTube. You just gotta be smart about the stuff this day and age. And this is what I just love about this little tiny press I'll link the video. Go watch the whole thing. Go read the comments in the comment section. And really, you really should go read the comments in the comment section, because I feel like some of the comments are either just really rich people who are willing to give EA a pass. A few people have protected EA and Blizzard, but then there's also some Blizzard fans who doesn't want Overwatch to lose their loot box gambling skins. And I'm like, are you insane? Just don't you understand? If the loot boxes go away from the skins in Overwatch, you will just be able to buy the skins you want directly. And that's what I've been saying. This is just taking out the loot box gambling mechanics. It's not preventing you from getting that extra skin. If you want to support Overwatch and buy the Mercy Halloween skin, well, that's going to just be able to do. You just go into a store, see Mercy, Hans, or whoever else, and just buy that skin. Soldier, just buy that skin you want, you know? That's okay to me. But you shouldn't have to roll a freaking dice and hope that you might land on that skin, or you might get a damn paint that you spray in the wall that doesn't do anything because nobody's looking at that in the first-person shooter. It's just great to see the United States finally step into this. Some states stepping up. We're starting off with Hawaii. They say they're starting to other states. Is it going to make a big difference? Who knows? You know, the United States is one of those countries that has a lot of different states all working together, and it's all going to take some effort from us as gamers as well to contact our people who are represent us and make the word get, you know, like now I feel like, oh shit, maybe I need to be contacting my state representative and push this forward, just like our people are fighting right now for net neutrality in the United States. I know if you guys are outside of the United States, that might not be something you're even aware of, but the United States is a whole nother big battle going on right now with net neutrality. But I'm really here mostly as a gaming channel, so I'm just going to talk about that mostly right now. But this is a fight I don't think that many of us as gamers need to ignore. This is a time to keep on spreading our voices and letting these people who are in power, wherever you live in the world, notice which games are the problem. They're mentioning Star Wars, but they need to mention Need for Speed. Need for Speed has not taken any steps to take away their whole entire bullshit pay-to-win mechanics in there that affects the online racing. That's still in Need for Speed right now. So there are games out there that still have these mechanics. There are still those mobile games that are aimed towards kids that have freaking just like really loot boxes or a bunch of diamonds you can buy. You know, like just there are games out there coming from EA as well and other publishers. And this is my favorite thing I wanted to end this video on. How much must the executives over at 2K and Activision Blizzard hating EA right now? 2K and Activision must despise EA. EA is now the company to them that have brought down the ban hammer on their whole entire greedy loot box predatory microtransaction system. Now we have all these eyes coming from these politicians around the world taking a look. And if you want to think about something quite interesting, I thought about this little video right here coming from Hawaii. A lot of the people in this video, and I'm not trying to say gamers are not old, they're not older gamers, but they seem to be very informed and young enough to really take this thing seriously. And I love that about this. Like they seem to understand the problem. They're not just like spinning the line like, oh, it's bad for the kids, gotta ban it. No, they seem to know a little bit more. Obviously, I don't know all these people's backstory. I don't know if they're crazy. I don't know. But at a first impression, being knowledgeable about the subject you're talking about, or you might be making legislations about, and being knowing that, okay, the problem is the loot boxes and the gambling part of it, and not just all microtransaction as a whole. Because I don't think there's a reason to ban like season pass. I know some people disagree with me, but I don't think there's a reason to ban season pass. I'm just going to say that never buy a season pass until you know what's in the season pass, and never pre-order a season pass. I've had a rule about that for a long time, and I never have. I had friends who have pre-ordered a season pass before the game is even out. I never understood of doing that. I never got it. Just if it's not $10 cheaper, I just don't understand why would you even bother. So I'm glad from everything I'm hearing in Belgium on these guys here in the US, they seem to understand that there's differences to the situation. It's not outright ban everything. Mark all games with microtransactions as pay to win, as gambling. There's different levels to everything, and that is important. It's not just about saying get rid of all microtransactions forever. It's get rid of the ones that take advantage of players. Because I don't want them to get to the situation where like you couldn't sell a skin by itself to a player that wants to support that. I think that's fine. Like I said, I'm not going to go ahead and buy the Mercy skin for $5. But if you want to, I'm not going to be bad about it. I'm not going to be bad about it. But if you're going to sit there and waste $100 rolling the dice hoping to get that Mercy skin and you just might not, I think that's a little dumb. I think you're just feeding into Activision, Blizzard, Take-Two's bullshit system. And what would it be to be a fly on the wall tomorrow in the board meetings of some of these high execs that implement these loot boxes at 2K and you know, I would just love to know what they're saying about Blizzard. I mean, about EA. It would just be like, they're going to be like, EA had to push it, man. They had to push it. We had a good thing going. We didn't even implement the way to pay for the loot boxes in Call of Duty yet. We were going to wait till next month. Now we might not even be able to implement the pay to win system. They had to push it. God damn it, EA. Why did they have to push so hard? And I'm getting texts right now. And it's people actually texting me about this whole entire situation. People are actually literally not texting me. They're tweeting me about the situation. So hopefully I'm going to be able to put out this update video. So everybody, thank you for watching Big Hero Untitled Game Show. Didn't mean to upload so many videos so soon to each other, but I'm excited. I'm glad to share this. It's unbelievably great news. Go watch a full video in the comment section below and let me know what you guys think down there. Till next time, peace out.